Ranger here. Mario Kart has always been a series I've loved to play. Even to this day, I go back to past games I never got the chance to play, or ones I want to revisit, through emulation. There's always this charm with playing the older titles, especially because of the retro tracks that came with the newer ones, which made it really cool to see what these tracks were like originally. The whole retro track thing started back in Mario Kart DS, those are Super Circuit as they can, where for each of the 4 cups, they used one track from each of the previous 4 games. It started with an SNES track, went to an N64 track, had a GBA track with that, and finally, a Nintendo GameCube track to finish it off. The concept was really cool and it continued on until now. With a Mario Kart 9 coming in the possible future, we should expect to see more of these retro tracks. And today, I'm going to go over my picks for retro tracks in a potential Mario Kart 9. Let's get into it. Let's go over some rules. 1. All 8 games are getting 2 tracks. With 4 cups and 4 slots each, putting 2 from each game is a no-brainer. And 2, no retro repeats. If a track was retro before, it is not coming back. Also, there's one game that is getting an exception for this, but I'll get to that later. Alright, with all that being said, let's begin. Super Mario Kart is a very interesting game. It was the start to a series, and, well, it hasn't aged well. A lot of the tracks here are very bland and don't have much to them. But with recent retros, such as the ones found in Mario Kart 8, they've gone all out to make these things look new. For my first pick, I chose SNES Bowser Castle 3 as the course to take the slot. Say what you will about the messiness of this track layout, but for me personally, I see so much potential in this track. There are many splits in the road which can make for some very interesting plays. Many things to trick off of, and many places where you could put a hang glider section. As for my other SNES track, I picked SNES Ghost Valley 3. This is by far the most interesting Ghost Valley track in Super Mario Kart. With many holes as obstacles, and trick opportunities, this would make for a fun course. This jump right here would be perfect for a hang glider section too. I would love to see this one be remade. Mario Kart 64. The first time Mario Kart dipped its toes into the world of 3D. This game is super charming, with very interesting and fun tracks. And apparently, Nintendo thinks that too, because they have reused all but one of the tracks in the game. So for this, what I'm going to have to do is go against Rule 2 for one of these tracks. I am only going to consider ones reused in DS and Wii though, as I do not want to reuse ones that were used in Mario Kart 7 and 8, as they are just too modern. Please don't hate me for this. My first choice is N64 Wario Stadium. Let me explain. Out of all the N64 tracks, this one is not surprisingly the only one Nintendo hasn't reused. And I mean, come on. It's inevitable that if a Mario Kart 9 is happening, this one will be in. Now personally, I think Nintendo has a lot of room to improve on this track and make it fun. For example, with the updated graphics, they could really make this place look way better. On top of that, there are many walls for anti-gravity sections, as well as there just being so much room to add stuff, like hang gliding or boosts. With all the bumps, tricks can be pulled off a lot, and they could even add boosts or gliders to these. I bet with all of this, the track would feel less empty and long, and more fun and special. Now for the reused one. For this, I chose N64 DK's Jungle Parkway. I would love to see this come back a third time. It might just be the Mario Kart Wii fanboy me, but really, I see a lot they could do with this. Case A, they could make this part a hang glider section. Case B, they could add anti-gravity into the cave. Not to mention, it would just look beautiful in HD. Mario Kart Super Circuit aka the worst one, is known for its transition from 3D back to 2D. With that, we unfortunately got more flat and boring tracks. Though in these tracks, there are some hidden gems. And to be honest, with Mario Kart 8's retro tracks recently, the GBA retro tracks have been some of the most well-done ones. Take Cheese Land and Ribbon Road, for example. So let's see what they can do with these picks. So you might be surprised. This pick is actually the reason I'm making this video. I had recently played Mario Kart Super Circuit all the way through, and I saw one track that just stood out, and oh my god, I really want it in the next game as a retro. That track is none other than GBA Sunset Wilds. First of all, the aesthetic is beautiful. It has this nice old western feel to it, with the sunset too. Not to mention that the track changes time of day depending on what lap you're in, which in the new Mario Kart could do this in real time. There's also water sections, boosts, and dino prints that could be used for tricks. And the music! Actually, someone by the name of Panman14 had created a fan version of it in Mario Kart 8's style. Have a listen. This is my dream GBA track, and it better get into Mario Kart 9. This next pick sort of mixes what I like about the two SNES tracks together into something interesting. Here we have GBA Bowser's Castle 4, a track with many holes, walled off pits, and many jumps, and split paths. Also, this thing in the background would look really awesome in 3D, and I mean, who wouldn't make this a glider section? Mario Kart Double Dash, a game that doubles the fun, and adds 2 exclamation marks to the title because why not? This game was a great comeback to 3D, and provided some fun tracks to race on. This follows under a similar problem to N64, but has 4, not 1, so I chose 2 from the selection. The first one is a very interesting one. GCN Wario Coliseum. This one would personally be a great addition. It has many twists and turns, has a unique look, and personally is just fun. It also has some huge jumps that you know it could be used. And here we have GCN Bowser's Castle. Yes, I do know this is the 3rd Bowser's Castle so far, but I promise this one is the last. This is a really cool Bowser's Castle though. It has a few different rooms with different things, like a lava bubble room or a fireball room, as well as the Bowser statue that shoots fire that you both have to go against with the motion or with the motion. Overall, this is a nice and fun Bowser's Castle. Mario Kart DS always stuck out to me as a very interesting one. The look of it catches my attention really, along with the fact that Rob is in it. Personally, as much as I like the game, none of the new tracks really stick out to me that much. This game is really just a vanilla Mario Kart experience. In that case, expect the tracks I picked to be kind of bland. Alright, let's start with DS 𝓲𝓮𝓼𝓬𝓻𝓲𝓹. This track takes place on a mountain, has a few cars driving around, and has a cool tunnel. To be fair though, there are some places capable of anti-gravity, and it's not that bad. I'd be cool seeing this one in the future. DS Mario Circuit. It's alright. Nothing special, just another Mario Circuit, though it's pretty standard. It's got this piranha plant and a dirt road. That's about it. Mario Kart Wii, aka my childhood. I love this game. It's so fun to trick off of stuff, like half pipes for example. And the bikes were a nice addition. And the tracks, oh my god. As you can assume, this one was very easy to pick tracks for. Even though most of my favorites were already remade, I'm happy with the two I have here, and I want to share them with you all. The Mushroom Cup and Wii will always stick in my memory. These tracks here feel like beginning tracks. Starting with a simple track, followed by a nice field-like track, then followed by Mushroom Gorge. Then it ends on a very fun and creative track, known as Wii Toad's Factory. This track shows how the item boxes are made, while giving us a very fun track to race on. Not to mention the music. It's just perfect. I definitely want to see this one make a comeback. You remember when I mentioned the half pipes just a second ago? Well, maybe if they remake this one, they might consider bringing them back. I'm talking about none other than Wii DK Summit. This is so fun. It's got a cannon, it's got bumps to trick off of, and it has this really cool section at the end. I would love to see this one again. Mario Kart 7 is a game I will always have nice memories of. This game introduced the hang gliding mechanic I have mentioned multiple times, and underwater, which is cool. The tracks in this game are all pretty cool, and personally, I think the two I picked would really stand out and deserve another chance in the spotlight. Starting off, we have 3DS 𝕔𝓼𝓬𝓲𝓷. The Wii Sports Resort tracks are really cool in my opinion, and I'd love to see one come to console. I chose this one over Woohoo Loop because it's just better. Also, the sunset aesthetic would be awesome in an updated look. This one deserves another chance. Alright, Mario Kart 7 has some great tracks, but personally, if I really had to choose any track to be my dream track for this game, it would have to be the one that ended this game on the best note it could. I'm, of course, talking about 3DS Rainbow Road. This track is perfect, and is by far the best Rainbow Road in the franchise. Not only does it have the road, but you drive on planets too. It truly feels like you're in space. Also, seeing this in an updated look would be beautiful. This one is a must-have. Mario Kart 8, the most recent one. On that note, there was an overwhelming 25 tracks to pick from. I am counting DLC too, by the way. The tracks in this game are all hypeable, so it was really hard to pick. But in the end, I chose 2. Also, since the game originated on the Wii U, I will be giving these tracks that title. With that, let's go. This one is a no-brainer. Wii U Mount Wario, one of the best Mario Kart 8 tracks. I don't even need to explain why this is so good. It is a rush, and I always find myself enjoying this one. Everything from the music, to the feel of the race, to the obstacles, everything. I love it, and this best get a remake in the future. For this final track, I chose one iconic to Mario Kart 8. This one manages to be beautiful, fun, and epic all at the same time. This track goes by the name of Wii U Cloud Top Cruise. The beautiful clouds, the epic lightning section, and the 10 out of 10 music. This track is one of the best in the game, and I would love to see this one return. Now, we're not done. In Mario Kart 8, we were given the DLC cups, adding 2 more cups to each row. Now, who's to say they wouldn't do that again? In that case, we're going to give all 8 games 1 bonus retro track. Some of these picks are odd, and I will be going over them in brief. I hope you're ready. SNES Vanilla Lake 2. I think seeing a Vanilla Lake track return would be cool. I chose this one over 1 because I see more potential in it. N64 Banshee Boardwalk. This N64 track takes the Ghost House theme and does something different. And with that, it deserves another chance. You could make that house in anti-gravity too. GBA Rainbow Road. This Rainbow Road would be really cool to remake. You can do a lot with the jumps on the edges of the whole thing. If SNES and N64's Rainbow Road got one, why not this one next? GCN Mushroom City. A very interesting track with multiple cars and split paths you can take. I wouldn't mind seeing the return of this one. DS Figure 8 Circuit. Literally my only option besides another Bowser's Castle or Rainbow Road. They could do something with this track, I think. Moonview Highway. This one is a really cool looking track, as it has this very nice nighttime aesthetic, and this really fast speeding highway with a bunch of cars and obstacles to overcome. It's super fun, and I would adore this one in a Mario Kart 9. 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar. It has a nice look to it, and references Super Mario Bros. 2. It'd be a really cool remake. Wii U Wild Woods. I wanted to add a DLC track. I chose this one due to its pretty visuals and unique design of driving on a tree. So, if I was going to organize these into cups, I would do so like this. Now, I'm going to go over each of these cups individually. For Show Cup, here, we have a basic Mario circuit, move on to a classic Ghost House, then go to 𝓃𝓬𝓬𝓲𝓷, and end it off with GBA's Bowser's Castle. Pretty basic stuff for the most part, for a pretty basic cup. I made Banana Cup a bit more interesting, starting with GK's Jungle Parkway, followed by then Cloud Top Cruise, and ending with GameCube's Bowser's Castle. Leaf Cup was literally just my leftovers, and I'll get to that. For now, we here have Shroom Ridge, Wario Stadium, and SNES Bowser Castle 3. If you know me, you know I love everything Lightning, which is why I wanted Lightning Cup to have the best of the best. With that, I chose Sunset Wilds, Mount Wario, Toad's Factory, and of course, 3DS Rainbow Road. As for the bonuses, I made them Egg and Bell Cup, as they are the two that were in Mario Kart 8 that don't relate to a crossover. I actually made Egg Cup more generic, with it having Figure 8 Circuit, Mushroom City, Shy Guy Bazaar, and finally, Wii. Yeah, the only cup that doesn't end on a Rainbow Road or Bowser's Castle. Finally, Bell Cup. For this, we have Vanilla Lake, Wild Woods, Banshee Boardwalk, and GBA Rainbow Road. These are my ideas for Mario Kart 9's retro tracks. Tell me what you think in the comments, as well as what kind of tracks you would like to see as well. Share this with people who you think would enjoy this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like. If you are new and you enjoyed it, consider subscribing and joining the Warrior Clan, my Discord server, link in the description, to get instant updates on everything about this channel, as well as chat with me and some of the other big members of the server. If you want to request video ideas, I'm going to be probably doing some more Mario Kart centered videos in the future, so drop some comments on some recommendations you would possibly like to see. Code Mario Galaxy is another thing I'm working on, so keep in tune for that. And yeah, basically it. I'll see y'all next time.